The music in this zone reminds me of a mix of Ark Survival Evolved / Valheim, so 2 survival games, and World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria. It's got kind of like the instruments, I'd say, of the Mists of Pandaria, an occasional cadence, but it's mostly the cadence of the other 2 games. So it almost feels like a survival WoWcraft, you know?
You seem familiar. Stay close, champion. We cannot afford for anything.
Are they blowing me up? Oh, he helps. But what is the point of me even being here?
Is this your idea of subtlety?
Quiet. I cannot maintain this forever.
Did I move too far ahead?
I could assist our dear champion in defending the
Wow,
wagon,
I moved too ahead.
There's no reason they have to do all the dirty work themselves.
And reveal ourselves to the enemy? Absolutely not. Stay in your seat.
I feel like Sibelian and Rathian are gonna learn to
Defend
be
the wagon.
friends. This one more story. Like, all of them ended up being friends. In real life, not everybody's friends, especially these days.
This is getting ridiculous. How many random encounters must we suffer before you realize your ruse has failed? Let us take wing and be done with it.
Cease
Like
your
Pokemon,
fidgeting. If
random
anything is putting
encounters.
us at risk of discovery, it is your childish impatience.
Oh, this one's a big chonker.
I cannot maintain this forever.
I cannot take this forever. Dude, you just started. Shalom. How tired I am. Wow, look at that thing. Ruby Peafowl.
Your time ends today, puppets.
All that
Is this the leadership
just
you
to
offer
get
our
destroyed.
people? Perhaps the others will see reason now.
Whelps these days. Meet me at the life pools proper, champion. This is far from over.
That wasn't cool. Look at the colors here. It's kind of like Nightfall aesthetic, but more realistic, meets Eversong Woods aesthetic. The fall kind of look. I love it. I love this spot. People talk about all sorts of negative things. I'm talking about the positives. Oh, God,
I don't have a target.
He couldn't just let it be? He couldn't just let it be? Then you smack him around a little, you know? I don't know why. You know, like, in real life, if you hit a bee, it's probably gonna die. These ones may be bigger, but I'm hitting it with a axe. Do they have armor? They have armor. Armor of iron. Iron bee. Back in the day, when I first started Warcraft, and because this character wasn't my original character, he wasn't even here yet, but he wasn't vanilla. Anyways, back then, when I first made my first character, World of Warcraft couldn't have made bushes like this. And now they have bushes like this that you click on that turn into monsters. That's how far we've come, and it's the same game. They didn't make World of Warcraft 2. They just kept going on with the same game, and I think to their detriment, honestly. I think that maybe Activision Blizzard should have made a World of Warcraft 2 with, thank God they didn't do it with Shadowlands, because that would have been a flop. But maybe not Dragonflight, maybe the next one. They gotta do it number 2, because a lot of people have associated a lot of things with World of Warcraft. But if they did a number 2, people could let go of those things and act like it was a fresh thing, even if it's very similar to this. This is still very different from the first vanilla experience. So I honestly think the game has changed so much that it might as well be a 2.0, maybe even a 3.0 at this point. But because it's still called World of Warcraft, and it's gone through all this change, it's almost got this identity issue. It feels like a World of Warcraft 2 or 3.0, but it's not. And honestly, World of Warcraft 2.0, a real one, would sell like hotcakes. Problem is, people want to carry their characters over. People want to carry their mounts over. That's why each expansion people get to do that. Maybe 2.0 could even just be just like another client of the game, just like Classic. You know, you could do Live, Classic, 2.0. Or I guess 2.0 would be Live. So then you'd have Classic and then like Modern Classic. It'd be really weird. But I definitely believe we are due for a World of Warcraft 2.0. People will say technically
to see them return.
Yes. It was update 2.0. But each expansion is not really worthy of a point like that. I don't think that TBC was worthy of a 2.0. It was more like 1.9. Wrath of the Lich King was definitely the next step, and so was Cataclysm. But from there, it gets muddled. Some of them were, some of them weren't. And a lot of people disagree, like Pandaria, for example. To me, it didn't feel like a full jump, but it was still beloved by so many people. So, some people did feel it was a full jump. Some people will argue that Cataclysm was the first big expansion, so the first 2.0 maybe. But even then, like, compare Cataclysm to this, I don't know. There's been several half steps along the way, but they've been called full steps in many cases. And that happens across the board in many aspects of life. People will call a half step a full step to justify it, and it's like, no more, no more. Take the full step, or don't call it a full step. This, to me, felt like a full step past Shadowlands, but Shadowlands felt like 2 steps backwards. Maybe even more than that. I was so confused in Shadowlands. Do I use this to go up?
It is good to see you, hero.
I was confused by soul cinders, soul shards or whatever, like covenants and there was so much to try to keep up with. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
And you are?
So Dragonflight feels like a step past Shadowlands for sure.
I'm here to correct
Not every
them.
expansion is a
What
full
is the
step.
meaning of
Some
this,
are half steps.
civilian?
And clearly
Where
with
are the
Shadowlands, some
eggs?
are
Yes,
backsteps.
why don't you explain how your ridiculous plan destroyed the
This is not a
future of an
backstep,
entire
though.
flight?
If you're watching me going,
I apologize
is
for any
Dragonflight worth
misunderstandings, Lifebinder.
after being
But any
slighted
report of our extinction is
by
premature.
Shadowlands,
The eggs
by
were
Battle
never
for
in
Azeroth,
danger.
even by
The
Warlords
cart
of Draenor,
and
like
my
so many
presence
people
were
were.
merely to draw
Is
the
it
attention
worth
of our
coming back for
foes and allow
Dragonflight?
my clutch to move.
Yeah,
unobserved.
baby.
I have spent millennia
definitely
rebuilding
is.
my flight. As Neltharian's
This is
heir,
not gonna
I
slight
pledge
you.
it and myself to you.
And when
What
it
are
does,
you-
These
does,
eggs are most
through an
welcome
update,
here,
if an
Sibelian.
update just
But your
slaughters
part
it,
in your father's twisted
leave.
legacy
Cancel
has
your sub.
earned
Do
you
a
no
month to
such
month.
privilege. I will ensure the eggs are cared for, but I will not be involved in your bickering. That is for the black, not the red, to decide.
part of the reason Dragonflight's a full step is it goes back to proper Azeroth content. That Shadowlands stuff was just like, what is happening? What? Felt like a dream. And it pretty much was. Thanks to Chromie time. It pretty much was a dream thanks to Chromie time. And hopefully we can all just forget about Shadowlands other than the few things that they're gonna piece together. I am so glad Shadowlands is over. Shadowlands was the worst expansion I've ever played. And I've played all of them. And I thought Battle for Azeroth was bad, but it was amazing by comparison. And people thought Warlords of Draenor was bad. It was amazing by comparison. Dragonflight is amazing by comparison. But don't forget too, though. Don't forget too. People that ended up hating Warlords of Draenor, a lot of them loved it at first because the storytelling was great. The garrison content was really good at first. It felt really good. A lot of people don't remember that. The garrison content did feel good at first. It just soured with time. And definitely with the lack of attention. Like they could have added, oh, my garrison's Night Elf themed, while mine is Undead themed, depending on the faction, right? But no, it was like, here's a list of buildings you can put in this list of places. They could have done more, but we got what we got.